All right, let's talk about one of Microsoft's heaviest hitters in the data world, Azure Data Factory. You hear the name, ADF, thrown around all the time, but what is it actually doing behind the scenes? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and find out.
Look, every single business today is dealing with this. You've got data coming at you from everywhere. You've got your on-prem databases, cloud apps, third-party APIs, spreadsheets. It is just this massive, chaotic flood of information. So the million-dollar question is, how in the world do you take all of that and turn it into something you can actually use?
And that, right there, is where Azure Data Factory steps in. You know, the best way to think about it is as a modern, super automated factory. But this place isn't building cars or widgets. Nope, it takes in all that raw, messy data, and what comes out the other end is the finished product. Crystal clear, actionable insights.
So come on in, let's take a tour of this factory, starting right at the front door with a proper introduction to what this place is all about.
So let's get down to brass tacks. At its core, ADF is a cloud service built for data integration. You'll hear the terms ETL and ELT a lot. That just stands for extract, transform, and load. It's designed to go out and extract raw data from wherever it lives, transform it into a clean, usable format, and then load it into its final home. And the best part? It automates that whole messy process.
Okay, so you can't just build a factory without a plan, right? You need a blueprint. And in Azure Data Factory, that blueprint is made up of 4 key building blocks that all work together. Let's break them down.
First up, we have the pipeline. I want you to think of the pipeline as the master workflow. It's the high-level plan that groups together all the individual jobs that need to get done to take something from raw material to finished product.
That's it, exactly. The pipeline is the main assembly line. It lays out the entire sequence of operations, from the moment the raw data comes in one door to the moment the finished insight goes out the other.
So if the pipeline is the assembly line, what are the things happening on the line? Well, that's where activities come into play. An activity is just a single specific step. It could be something really simple like copy this file, or it could be something way more complex like running a huge data cleanup script.
Yep, sticking with our factory, each activity is like a specialized robot arm on the assembly line. You've got one robot that picks up the data, another one that cleans it, maybe a third one that sorts it. Each one has one job, and it does it perfectly. Now, of course, all these machines need something to work on. In ADF, we call that a data set. But here's a really key point. The data set isn't the data itself. It's more like a label or a pointer that tells ADF, hey, the data you need is over there, and this is what it looks like.
So, back on the factory floor, data sets are literally the goods moving along the conveyor belt. They are the raw materials coming in as your inputs, and they are the shiny finished products going out as your outputs.
Last piece of the blueprint. How does our factory actually connect to the outside world? You know, to get supplies and ship products? That's the job of a linked service. It's basically the connection string. It holds all the secret handshakes and passwords ADF needs to talk to other systems.
Think of it like this. A linked service is literally the key to the factory's loading dock. It's what gives you secure access to your suppliers, your data sources, and lets you ship your finished goods to your customers, your data destinations.
Okay, our blueprint is solid. We've got our assembly line, our robotic arms, our materials, and the keys to the dock. Now it's time to flip the big switch, power this place up, and actually start making stuff.
So the engine room of our data factory is called the integration runtime, or IR. This is the actual compute, the horsepower that executes all the work. And as you can see, you've got 3 main types. The Azure IR is your default cloud-native engine. The self-hosted IR is super cool. It's what you install in your own servers to securely reach data that's tucked away behind a private firewall. And finally, the Azure SSIS IR is a specialized engine designed to lift and shift your older on-prem SSIS packages into the cloud. It's all about having the right tool for the job.
The factory has power, but nothing's happening yet. So when does the assembly line actually start moving? That's all decided by a trigger. A trigger is simply the rule that says, go to a pipeline.
That's it exactly. The trigger is the automated shift manager. It can be a simple schedule like, hey, run this job every morning at 9 a.m. sharp. Or it can be event-based, which is way cooler. The second a new file lands on the loading dock, kick off the assembly line. It's all about hands-off automation.
Okay, we know all the parts and the factory's powered up. Now let's take a closer look at what ADF is actually doing on that assembly line, and maybe clear up how it's different from some other big names out there.
People often compare ADF to SSIS, which is Microsoft's more traditional on-premises tool. The big difference here is that ADF was born in the cloud. It's serverless, which is a fancy way of saying Microsoft handles all the underlying infrastructure for you. That means you get to focus on building your data workflows, not patching servers. Another really important distinction is between ADF and Azure Databricks. Here's the easiest way to think about it. ADF is the orchestra conductor. It's the factory manager. It controls the what and the when of the entire process. Databricks, on the other hand, is the specialized, superpowered machinery for really heavy-duty transformations. It handles the complicated how. In fact, they work great together. ADF often acts as the conductor, telling a Databricks cluster when to perform its complex solo. And inside the factory, ADF has its own amazing set of tools called data flows. This is a game changer. It's a completely visual, drag-and-drop environment for building really sophisticated data transformations. You can join data, filter it, pivot it, create new columns, all without writing a single line of code. It makes complex data work so much more accessible.
All right, our factory is humming along, churning out valuable insights. But just like any real-world operation, you got to manage it, you got to keep an eye on it, and you absolutely have to keep it secure.
And of course, ADF is built for the modern era. It's a true smart factory. You get a central hub to monitor every single pipeline run, so you always know what's going on. For security, you can integrate with tools like Azure Key Vault, so you're never putting passwords in plain text. And you can treat your data pipelines just like professional software, using Git for source control and automating your deployments. It's the real deal.
So, at the end of the day, even though we've been calling it a factory, maybe an even better metaphor is this. Azure Data Factory is the conductor of your data orchestra. It doesn't necessarily play every single instrument itself, but it's the one making sure every single part, every data source, every transformation, plays together in perfect harmony and right on cue.
So we've seen how today's data factory can build incredible insights. But that leaves us with a pretty big question for the future, doesn't it? As artificial intelligence becomes the new raw material, what will the data factory of tomorrow build with it? What amazing things are going to come off that assembly line next? Something to think about. Thanks for watching.